What's up, guys? Nightingale here, and welcome back to the update notice videos. Today is April 13th. We're about to go over tonight's patch chat. We're here live on Twitch. Say hello to YouTube. If you guys would like, please come and hang out. I'm live every Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to around 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I do these videos once a week for you guys. So every Wednesday, feel free to come and hang out. We would love to have you here. So yeah, what we're going to be doing today is going over the update notice and going through the things in its entirety. Make sure you use the timestamp below if there's something you specifically want to check out. It will be in accordance to what is going on here. So if you want to see hero balance, if you want to see something about summons, everything's going to be in the timestamps below, so to make sure you can use that to navigate. And then at the very end, make sure you check out the Q&A section where Twitch chat is going to be asking questions, and maybe your questions have been asked or answered. If not, make sure to leave it in the comment section below, and I will totally be able to help you guys out as best as possible. So let's jump into this and get into this monstrous patch, because there's a lot to talk about. So, alright, so here is the patch for April 14th. I'm not even going to read his intro because we need to get started. So, 1. Hero balance adjustments. Oh god, here we go. So, first off, Silverblade Aramintha, the Light Mage. She is getting her a few things changed here. So, Flame Fraction is getting changed. Let's see here. It attacks an enemy with an explosion of flames with a 75% chance to burn for 1 turn. After attacking, when the enemy is burned, activates Flame Release as an extra attack. Flame Release attacks all enemies with Mystic Fire Energy with a 60% chance to burn for 1 turn before increasing the caster's combat readiness by 25%. So she's getting a rework of what appears to be her S1. Then, as far as Flame Release, will be changed to Flames of Savara. So they are completely reworking her passive, which is now going to be when an ally, except for the caster, uses an attack that targets all enemies, increases combat readiness of the caster by 20%. Can only be activated once every 3 turns. So they put a little bit of something here to make sure that it cannot be abused, because as soon as I saw attack AoE spam, I was like, oh gosh, you can see our push her to death. But hey, they at least put a clause here to make it work better for the kit. Then we're going to Meteor Fall. We're now only going to be concerned with After Awakening, because again, as we always say, who in the world cares about an unawakened hero? Nobody. So After Awakening attacks all enemies with a giant meteor. What would it be? A small meteor? A rock? Space rock? Moon rock? Grain of sand? With a 65% chance to inflict burn for 2 turns before stunning for 1. Decreases combat readiness of the enemy with the highest combat readiness by 30%. So this was an interesting change. I'm curious to see how it's gonna play out. I'm actually, as far as if we take it independently here, SBA, yeah, it's pretty decent change for her.
Things just got out of hand.
Alright, so, Dark Corvus. Shield Bash. Now, I think we can all safely agree here. Dark Corvus, sure, can use some tuning. As in my prior video, I stress my concerns with a unit, and it is Dark Corvus in the meta. But nonetheless, let's get into this. So Shield Bash is being changed. Attacks with a shield with a 75% chance to provoke for 1 turn and recovers the caster's health. Damage dealt and the amount recovered increase proportional to the caster's max health. What they basically said here in the patch notes, or the balance up preview, is they're trying to make him be a little bit more self-sustaining and trying to get him to do a little bit more damage. And this is where they kind of lost their marbles. So, Devil's Descent, Dark Corvus' S3. After Awakening. Attacks with a lethal hit and absorbs some of the damage as health. When the enemy is defeated, inflicts extinction. I didn't stutter. Damage dealt increased proportional to the caster's max health and percentage and penetrates the target's defense. This is full target penetrate. This is full defense penetration. You go mess with it on a damage calculator, whether now or in a week. It doesn't matter. It always penetrated the target's defense. It's 100%. The attack cannot trigger a critical hit and begins the battle with a full skill cooldown count. All I'm going to say here is we've been having a lot of discussions inside the video that I last posted for Epic 7. Basically, I don't quite understand why the community is so okay with this when they don't realize you've just given a tank that, even on the worst builds, are 25,000 HP. Extinction. Think back to every other unit that has extinction. Not a single one of them is built much higher than 15,000, 16,000 HP. Most of them are built really with less than 12 or 13 when they're built for PvP, because they're typically fast and they want to go quick, or they're really, really slow, but they deal a lot of damage. But they can be killed pretty quickly. In this case, you've got a monster that cannot be killed. Well, it's here to stay. You asked for buffs, you made the bed, now you gotta sleep in it. Alright, moving on. Diene. So Diene's getting a very good quality of life change here. I think this is for the better. A lot of people were disappointed that she didn't get more, but you need to think about what she is. So they're changing Blessings of the Goddess. With Blessings of the Goddess, dispels 2 debuffs from all allies and grants barrier for 2 turns. Barrier strength increases proportional to the target's max health. What was done here is she only dispelled 1 debuff, and now they're also giving her a barrier here. This, I think, was one of the better options for Diene, because we don't want to step on the toes of Amelia's job, and we don't want to we don't want Diene to be a better Amelia. We want them to be different, because they are 2 different types of Soul Weavers. So I actually think out of anything you could have done for Diene, this was actually a bigger quality of life change than more people are giving it credit for, and I think this is something you should actually really think about with her, is don't look at her as, oh, Amelia's better. They are different. They are 2 totally different concepts and where you want to use them. All right. I'm scared because of this. Fire Aramintha. So her Ignite is getting a pretty decent change. So after Awakening, attacks the enemy with an explosion of flames with a 50% chance to burn for 2 turns. At the end of the turn, detonates burn effects inflicted on the target. Hello, Carrot 2.0. Alright, next up. Catalyst. They are reducing they're changing it and reducing its cooldown. So, attacks all enemies with a catalytic explosion, dispelling 2 buffs. And making them unhealable for 2 turns, before increasing the attack of all allies for 2 turns. For each unhealable inflicted, increase the combat readiness of the caster by 25%. The obsessive need for Smilegate to constantly be throwing in dispel buffs, dispel buffs, dispel buffs, making units more and more self-sustaining, is creating an issue that they seem to not address. This is one of those scenarios when I was looking at Fire Aramintha and SBA, I kind of had them backwards. I almost had SBA getting more of these types of buffs, and Fire Ara getting more of SBA's type of buffs. Obviously, I didn't have the whole passive thing done like that, but the overall concept was about the same, of kind of thinking in those veins. Did I think they were going to do this at the same time? No. Also, I just want to say this now. You really shouldn't have buffed both of these units at the same time. It should have been buff one, let it go out, see how it reacts, because honestly, one indirectly buffs the other, making them both actually pretty good. And now you've got them both buffed really, really good, and that could be a problem. So let's jump into Fire Pillar. So, attacks all enemies with a massive fire pillar. I guess if it was anything else, it would be just a flat fire ember. With a 100% chance to inflict to inflict 2 burn effects for 2 turns, and a 50% chance to stun for 1 turn. Grants barrier to the caster for 2 turns. Barrier strength increased proportional to the caster's attack. So cool, she's getting some protection, and she's trying to become a little more self-efficient with what she's able to set up. So here's the thing. People are instantly going to jump in and say, oh, hey, we have cleansers, we have things like that. You know, you've got ER, you've got stuff like that, sure. But not everybody has those cleansers. Not everybody has the ability to dispel a absurd amount of debuffs in 1 turn. You do have 15% protecting you, but let's be real. I think there's a lot of issues that could be caused with this. Hopefully it's not as bad as what I've imagined, but on paper, this was a very bad combination and very, very deadly because they both directly highly buff the other. Because now, Fire Aramintha sets up for SBA, and you still have 2 other slots on your team that can do stuff. So, we now have created kind of an issue. Alright, so people have been asking for Ludwig buffs. Here you go. So, Moonlight Blow. Attacks the enemy, or attacks with light, decreasing buff durations by 1 turn. Before a 1 turn before a 100% chance to stun for 1 turn. Now let's stop right here because this needs to be addressed. Did you see that Fire Aramintha has Dispel 2 buffs? Ludwig now decreases buff duration by 1 turn. Shall we keep going? We had Peyra, rollback buff durations by 1 turn. We had Cerise released, who I think it's dispel buffs or decreases by 1. We had Ran, which dispels buffs. We have so many units being released, and their patch notes are getting updated, where they're coming in and they're constantly now doing everything's penetrating defense. We hadn't even read it, but it's in here. Everything's penetrating defense. Everything's rolling buffs back by 1 turn. And at this point, it's about to be an Oprah show, and you get extinction, you get extinction, you're getting extinction, everybody's getting extinction. You know, that whole 9 yards, that's pretty much what's about to happen. I see that they're saying in the chat, they're saying Conquer Lilius, which is true. The ML, I forgot about that one. How could I forget? So there you go. You're having so many units that are rolling back buffs. What are we doing here? Why is this your now go-to if I want to buff something? Is to strip buffs and penetrate defense. But let's go on, because this gets worse. So he stuns for 1 turn, then grants the caster invincibility for 1 turn. For those of you who don't understand, invincibility is the star, immortality is the little heart. After the attack, when the target is stunned, increases combat readiness of the caster. They've now changed his soul burn to ignore effect resistance. Because ignore effect resistance is the way you guarantee stuff. He's a mage. He can technically hold book on his own. So now we're basically giving him self-efficiency to ignore F-res. Why? Why is this a thing? Alright, but let's keep going. Call of the Full Moon. After Awakening. Attacks all enemies with Nocturne magic, and when an enemy is defeated, extends the caster's buff duration by 1 turn. Penetrates the target defense by 30%. When the caster is invincible, penetrates the target's defense by an additional 30%. This isn't additive, this is additive is what they're showing. It's an additional 30%. So, we're getting we're creating this concept where we're devaluing buffs, we're devaluing ER, we're devaluing defense. Where are you going, Smilegate? Why are we headed in this direction? Is this good for Ludwig? If you take it out, sterile out into its own thing? Yes, absolutely. If you look at this from an outside perspective of just looking at Ludwig, no other absolute dumpster fire that's going on the other side. If we just put him over here for a minute. Yeah, this is actually really good. But then you go look at what they're doing to every other unit. Everything's rolling buffs back, everything's penetrating defense, and now we're getting more and more of these ignore F-res soul burns. Why? But good for Ludwig, he deserves this. Just remember that his invincibility is strippable. All right, so they're changing his exclusive equipment to now be damage dealt increased by 10% when using Moonlight Blow. This is just because of what they're doing and how they're changing things around. Also, I don't know where if they're going to say it, but you will be able, if you do have Ludwig now, you'll be able to change this for free for, I think, 2 weeks. Okay, the next spicy one is, a lot of people are actually pretty hyped for this one. Destina is getting a pretty decent rework for an old-time favorite. All right, so Key to an Oath. Attacks the enemy with a staff and heals the ally with the lowest health, increasing, health, healing increase proportional to the caster's max health. This is better because the target's max health could be low, so it doesn't really heal better. By now working on Destina, you now have a little more control over this. So this was actually a change for the good. I'm actually excited about this. Regen now gets a controversial rework here, so let's just jump into this. So Regen, blessing an ally, dispelling 2 buffs, and recovering health before increasing the combat readiness by 30%. Healing increase proportional to the caster's max health. The reason why I said this was a little bit controversial is because some people really liked the 50% CR boost. But it's now dispelling, so they're trying to make it balanced, although, let's be real, they don't really understand the words balance too well, so they could have kept this at 50% and nobody really cared. But to balance things out here, they decreased its combat readiness push, but it's also got a shorter cooldown now. That's something else to consider. Shorter cooldown, now dispel buffs. Okay, we can kind of justify this. So this is really cool, but here is the rework, which is Destina's Grace. After Awakening, grants all allies the blessing of a Spirit Lord, reviving all dead allies to 20% health. For allies that are not dead, dispels all debuffs before recovering health. Amount recovered increased proportional to the caster's max health. At the start of the battle, or the start of the first battle, grants Spirit's Blessing to the caster for 2 turns. Spirit Blessing increases effect resistance by 60%. Spirit's Blessing cannot be dispelled, so this is a blue buff. So, Destina can now have insanely high ER because of this turn 1. Great, but then we have things like Ludwig, who have ignore effect resistance soul burns. So, you take with one hand, you give with one hand, you take with the other. It's literally what's happening here. But cool, it's still usable, it's still really cool. The 20% health thing, I'm not a huge fan of without granting immortality. I feel like that was where this messed up, is you're reviving them to 20% health, but you're not giving them any protection whatsoever for being revived. Some people could see this as an issue. I see this as a back and forth. But honestly, let's see how it works. Let's get it in here, and I'm actually really curious to try messing around with my Destina. And then they are changing her exclusive equipment as well to balance out. Destina's Grace will be removed, and Regen will be changed. So they are now decreasing this, they're getting rid of the skill cooldown, and they're increasing combat readiness by an additional 20% when using regen. So this is where they're putting that regen that we were talking about. So it's still possible to get the 50%, but it's now in the It's now in the exclusive equipment, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I told you guys in the balance notes, if you were watching that video, we would address this here. So before we get into it, no matter where it's at in here, they did come back and acknowledge that where they had made it, where it was the caster's HP, it was supposed to be the caster's attack. So it was a typo. He's not horribly nerfed like we were specifically worried about with them changing it to HP, because he does have very low HP. So they did correct it, and just know that coming into here. So they have technically buffed Guider Aither. So let's jump into it. Spirit's Protection. Attacks with spirit power before recovering health of all allies, granting a barrier for 2 turns. The amount recovered and barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's attack. I believe this is where it was. This was changed to caster's health in the patch notes, but they've updated it. I think we're good. It's attack now, which is exactly what he needs, because he's an attack imprint. Great. So they're working on trying to give him more sustainability, more value to him. Wave of Force, after awakening. Delivers a blow to the enemy with spirit power and dispels all buffs before increasing attack of the ally with the highest attack for 2 turns. Increasing combat readiness by 50. And then his soul burns now, instead of increased damage dealt, it's now skill cooldown decreases by 2 turns, allowing him to try to cycle this more often. Now, the only thing I'm confused about that I would want to see is it saying it's increasing the ally before increasing the attack of an ally with the highest attack for 2 turns and increasing the combat readiness by 50%. Is that saying it's a CR push to the ally or to Aither? I'm going to be curious to see how that ends up being. Either way, it's still pretty good, but I'm not 100% sure where we're going with this. And they're changing his exclusive equipment to the amount recovered it will now be amount recovered by 20% when using Spirit's Protection versus the barrier. They're getting rid of that. All right, another, I think, fan favorite by a few was Coli. Coli is now getting, I would say, I think we can classify this as a full rework. This isn't even a buff, this is a rework. So this is kind of what some units need. Honestly, at some points, buffs can be a small change, like Destina, or you can get a full rework like Coli. So Coli is getting changed up quite a bit. Ambush, which is her S1, is now ambushes the enemy with a 75% chance to steal 1 buff. And then the Soul Burn increases the effect chance to 100% and steals 2 buffs. So here we go. We've got another buff stealing unit. So do keep an eye out for this. Accurate Strike is getting another decent change to it. Attacks the enemy with an unseen blade and grants stealth to the caster for 2 turns. At the end of the turn, detonates any bleeding effects and bombs inflicted on the target. So here we go. We've got another unit detonating its effects immediately. Now, let's jump in to her S3. Baptism of Fire. After awakening, attacks the enemy with a dagger and a bomb, decreasing buff durations by 1 turn. Here we go again. Do you see where I'm saying that they really have a monochromatic thought process here? We decrease buff durations, we're gonna penetrate target, we're gonna ignore effect res. This isn't how you balance a game. Sure, sterile on its own, this is cool. This is cool. But in the grand scheme of the dumpster fire going on over here, this doesn't solve your issue. So, decreases buff duration by 1 turn. And then, inflicting bleeding and planting a bomb for 2 turns, before increasing combat readiness of the caster by 50%. When the Target is a fire elemental hero, ignores effect resistance, increases combat readiness of the caster by an additional 50%. So she's got a 100% CR boost when the target she goes after is a fire unit. This is a 4-star normal RGB unit. This isn't an ML5, this isn't an ML4, this is a 4-star normal unit. This is where I have issues with some of the stuff that they're doing here. Basically, this is their response to Ha Young. Get her faster than what Ha Young, or faster than what the average Ha Young is. This is going to go in to strip its immunity. You're going to put bleedings and plant some bombs on it, because this thing's not built with ER for crap. You're going to increase her combat readiness by 100%. She's going to take another turn, activate S2. You might as well just said, make it an extra turn. And now she's going to go in and she's going to attack the enemy and then detonate the bleeds and any effects and bombs on the target. Bang, she's gone. How is this balance? Why can't you actually just fix your game? I know people are going to be mad that they feel like I'm hating on stuff. No, I'm more wanting a better game for you guys. This is not... Sure, this is cool. Like I say, we take this off in a sterile environment, nothing else is going on. Sure, okay, I can let this slide. But we've got a whole lot of other issues here, and this isn't how we fix it. Yes, does this make Coli now usable? But does this solve anything? No. We just now created another problem. So, yay, we add more to problems. Now, here's another one that I think a lot of people were like, wait, why is Armin getting another buff? Well, supposedly they weren't really happy with the last process of Armin, so they're giving it another shot. So, Takedown is going to become, attacks the enemy with a shield with a 35% chance to stun for 1 turn. Damage dealt increase proportional to the caster's defense. When it's not the caster's turn, attacks the enemy, or when it's not the caster's turn, this attack is changed into an attack that targets all enemies. So now they're basically saying if she is on counter set or anything like that, now she will have an AoE S1. Cool. Interesting concept. But now here's why that's there. Here's her passive, a full rework on this passive. After Awakening, when attacked, has a 25% chance to attack, or to counter-attack. When an ally, except for the caster, is attacked by a single target attack, or by a single attack, decreases the damage suffered by 20%, so they're penalizing single target nukes. When one or more damage reduction effect is granted, only the strongest is applied. Cool, but Ha Young still exists. I don't think 20% is enough to stop Carmen from getting one-shot by her, but sure. Or not Carmen, Armin. I always do this. There are certain units out there that I always will call them by their Moonlight or whatever variation. She is one I will forever call Carmen, but it's Armin. Crimson Armin versus Green Armin. All right. Shield Wall is now getting changed, which this one I've seen some people arguing about this being worse or better. But let's take it for what it is. So after the balance, she's now going to use the Shield of Light to dispel 1 buff from all allies, grants increased defense to the caster for 2 turns, and a barrier to all allies for 2 turns. Barrier strength increased proportional to the caster's defense. Her Soul Burn will now increase the duration of buffs granted by the skill for 1 turn, which is cool. And now she's getting a couple exclusive equipment reworks because of everything they're changing here. So probably one that everybody's probably going to end up using is the counterattack chance. Protects counterattack chance by 5%, so you get a little bit more chance to counterattack because you're probably going to want to spam the AoE. Or some people are going to do the additional debuff, which is cool because that is now 2 debuffs she can dispel with that. So, more details in the preview notice, which we covered in the other video. So if you would like to go there, the video is the Balance 414 video that we posted here about 2 weeks ago. All right, effect changes to the exclusive equipments. They're basically doing the recalls here is what it's basically saying. I'm just going to skip over this to save some time. And It'll be available from 414 to 428. You have the ability to recall these exclusive equipments and get them switched over to whatever you would like. The quality of it cannot be changed by this. Here is how it works. So you will go in, you'll be able to select it, whatever it is, and you'll be able to change the effect to whichever one you want. So whatever your quality is here, I don't know if you can see it, you cannot. So whatever your quality says right there, that won't change, but you can change your skills, which is cool. So this is what it looks like for all of those. All right, so now probably, let's just finish this up. So it says, notes for exclusive equipment change. The main value, as I've said, the main effect value will not be changed. Players can change the effect of the eligible exclusive equipments only once. When the player changes the effect, changes cannot be reversed. When a player changes the effects, equipment will be unequipped automatically, and equipment obtained after adjustments will be made will not be eligible for this change. So you won't be able to do it once it's done. So if you summon it tomorrow, you can't change it. All right. Next up, Moonlight Summon Revamp. How many of you in chat are excited for the Moonlight Summon Revamp? So, here we go. Display. When entering summon, Moonlight Summon, information on the summons left till a guaranteed 4 5-star hero displayed in the upper left corner of the screen. When an upgrade summon is possible, the summon button will change to upgraded summon. Currency. Free. Upgrade summon will not consume galaxy bookmarks. So once you reach the pity, it is free. All right. Details. You will be able to perform a 4 5-star Moonlight hero summon every 20 Moonlight summons. This is great. It originally was 30, and now it's 20. A lot better. The heroes available from the upgrade summon will be the same as the 4 5-star that are available in the normal Moonlight summon. 3-star Moonlight heroes will not be included. So you will no longer see Arbiter Elson, Arbiter, let's see here. Arbiter Elson, Judge Elson, Mediator Elson, you know, you've got Dark Elson, Specimen Elson, Spirit Eye Elson. You're good. You don't have to worry about Elson anymore. Although, I'm not gonna lie, I would like a Doris or two, but that's beside the point. That's what the normal tickets are for. All right, so yes, we're now gonna have a chance of getting more 4 and 5-star Moonlight heroes. If you proceed with the general Moonlight summon, the 4 5-star number of times remaining before confirming the recall of Moonlight heroes will not be reset, even if you attain a 4 or 5-star Moonlight hero from the summons. Basically what the wording is here is if you get a 4 or 5-star, that counter won't tick. It's just gonna consistently keep rolling over, which is great. So there's no like pity, so it's not like, oh, you got an ML5, sorry, here you got your pity resets here. No, it's just an additional thing being done to the summons. Cool. So after the 414 maintenance, the remaining of Moonlight summons are the remaining number of Moonlight summons after the retroactive application will be reflected in the summon count for guaranteed Moonlight summon. Okay, good. So this is what I was curious about, which means they will not be rounding up. They're going to go ahead and give you, if you're halfway there, you'll be halfway there. You'll have 10 summons to go to get another ticket. Cool. I'm okay with this. This makes this fair. I was going to say this is not fair if it's going to start completely at 20, a hard count at 20. That was going to be an issue. So, cool. So as far as where I had said everybody needs to get 1 ticket, I take that statement back. Sure, that would be great just to give everybody 1 ticket. But cool, it is what it is. So they're adding a help summon, Moonlight summon will be updated. Will be updated with updated screenshots and explanations and the drop rate information. This set waves, but I'm going to talk to you guys for just a minute. So there he showed the drop up rate here, and as you can see, it is 85% chance to get your 4-star let me rephrase it. You have a 100% chance of getting your 4-star hero and an epic 15%. They love this 15% number to get your Moonlight 5-star hero. Okay, so initially people were a little bit upset about it not being like the custom tickets. Okay, I agree, and after calming down for a second, because I was there, because, 15% chance is kind of trash. Let's be real. But we need to take into account something else that has not been taken into account when people don't think. So let's bring this up real quick. Here is an older photo. This is slightly out of date, but this does show you what the normal 4 5-star ticket is. So right here, I've already done the math so that we don't have to add it up here. We have the 4-star heroes available in this original ticket is 23. There were 23 available there. Now, the summoning rate on those is 3.7. Okay? So the summoning rate for those are 3.7. So nothing is changed. It is the same as that 4 5-star ticket that you guys typically get once a month. Some of you buy it from the Huche shop. It's still the same rate as that. Now, as we can go, if they keep updating that list, that 3.7 becomes worse, but you're also adding another unit to the pool. So nothing's changed as far as how their 4 5-star ticket summoning works, so please use your math and your brains. Don't panic. Yes, the 30% would have been awesome. Even just 80-20 would have been awesome. But here we are. They're basing this off of their other ticket, so records stand the same. Here we go. It's the same thing. So hopefully that's going to clear some stuff up for you guys with this ticket. Because again, I know the people in the live stream were pretty much like 15%. You've got to be kidding me. I was also there, but then I did the research on what the 4 5-star ticket that we have normally in the game. Okay, cool. So moving on, let's talk about the 4 5-star Moonlight ticket refund. So this is what everybody's been waiting for. Here you go. Following the Moonlight Summon revamp, heirs will be refunded retroactively with 4 5-star summon ticket according to the number of Moonlight summons done up until before the update. So you could be spamming these things all you want right now. There is no penalty for you to be doing that. But I will tell you this now. If you've got gold transmit stones, don't spend them yet. Because if you're going to be getting tickets, there's a reason why. If you get Archdemon Mercedes, you get Strays, or you get Bellion. Those 3, you have to imprint with gold transmit stones. So don't just instantly go start flushing away your gold transmit to try to summon more heroes. Pull your tickets first. Think about that custom, the custom triple banner that's coming to gain you more. And then also think about the custom Mystic banner that is also coming in the near future. So if you may be wanting one of those, you may want to save your imprints. You will need 50 to triple S a unit off of those. So keep that in mind before you just go absolutely dumping them. All right. Next up, we're getting another episode, or another chapter inside of episode 4, which is Safe Haven. So it feels like just not too long ago, we had another chapter. Maybe it was last update video, actually. But we're getting 5S, Safe Haven. So Ran remains on the Shadow Mountain after seeing Ran and Aiden off. He learns, or seeing Raz and Aiden off, he learns that the shift bell used by Zahak was manufactured in Khan and works through the power of the pilgrims. However, as all the pilgrims who lived in Khan were executed, he suspects that there was someone in their home. Safe Haven Origin, who was collaborating with the Hand of Revolution upon his revival. Ran recalls memories of the past. So you'll need how to enter. You'll need to complete episode 4, chapter 5, stage 5-S3 to enter this stage. Here is the map. 5S Safe Haven Origin has no quest to complete because it is an S stage. How to open, you'll need to clear 5S-8 Reunion. That's how you open the exchange shop, and then of course you're going to be getting your gold transmit, MolaGora, some catalysts, and all that good stuff. I don't like that they're one-off, but hey, it is what it is. Awakened Aiden will be getting another unlock because the chapter is progressing through here. Completing stage 5S-8 Reunion Cavern in Safe Haven Origin will unlock missions for Awakened Aiden in Chapter 5S. Clearing all missions in 5S awarded players with Aiden's Secret Scroll. Story Journal 5S to Promised Land will be added. Story Journal Episode 4. All right, next up. Something nobody should be concerned about, because there's a triple banner coming very, very soon. A custom triple banner. You should not be concerned with any unit that is going to be on banner for the next month. Let's be real. Nothing you should be concerned about. So yeah, Senya and Spear of New Dawn is coming, so for those of you who do happen to have powder, don't spend it just yet. Actually, she's only here for a week, so I guess if you really, really, really want it, I guess now is the time to do it. All right, so I'm slightly clued into this, but I was slightly clued out of this. It sounds like a bunch of people were being idiots using a 2-star hero to RTA, and yeah, it's now able to be recalled. I'm not going to give this thing the time of day, but if you were dumb enough to do this and thought this was not going to get recalled or changed because of what it was able to do, you're getting all your stuff back. You'll get a bottle of knowledge if you got it up to 6-star. If not, I think you just get phantasmas. You'll get all the researches back. So yeah, that's all we are doing. Okay. So, other improvements and adjustments. Title screen. So when starting up the game, the title screen for episodes 1 to 3 will be changed to each episode's PV, which is cool. So every promotional video will now have, each episode's promotional video is now available, which is cool. Title screen will change in accordance to the story progression and adventure. High quality media pack. Devices not using low quality mode will have high quality media pack set as default. This can be changed at any point through the game settings, which is cool. If you guys have devices, you should totally be putting this in and on your device. If you've got super high resolution screens or larger, slightly larger devices, this is night and day difference. You can totally tell. But for those of you who have absolutely toasters of mobile phones, you probably shouldn't, because it might blow it up. If your phone turns into a thing that you can cook an egg on, that's your warning sign. You probably can't run this pack safely. All right. Hero and Artifact. The damage dealt by 5-star hero Tamron skill, Serene Tune, and 4-star auxiliary Lot's skill description will now match the damage dealt when using Soulburn. What? The damage dealt by 5-star hero Tamron's skill, Serene Tune, and 4-star hero auxiliary Lot's skill, Desolation, will now match the damage dealt when using Soulburn. So I guess it was not quite properly. The AI of 3-star Doris and her specially changed Magic Scholar Doris will now be changed to use Celebration of Light when allies... Wait, that's her S2, right? Celebration of Light? I've got the game up. I'm pulling it up. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that is what they're saying. So we're just bringing this up. Yeah, okay, cool. So when everybody's 100%, she's going to automatically now use her, the buff first, which is cool. Actually, that's really good for Doris. Not that it really matters, because you shouldn't have this on AI anyway, but all right, cool. An intermittent issue where 5-star Rule of Light, Destina, and Shooting Star Acades would sometimes not use healing skills when allies had low health during auto battle mode. I'd never noticed that, but I guess somebody did. An issue where 4-star Maya sometimes would not use Concuss skill during auto battle will be fixed. Wow, there's some weird stuff going on. An issue where bleeding effect 5-star artifact torn sleeve took effect prior to another effect will be fixed. I hope that doesn't screw anybody over. Adjustments will be made to episode 4, chapter 2. Certain typos in episode 4, chapter 5 are fixed. All right, so battle, adventure, automaton tower, 4-star Koala, 5-star Briar, Witch's Area, automaton tower devices would not stack additional damage. All right, an issue wherein combat readiness is 100% for certain heroes. They did not follow the turn order as shows on the battle status board will be fixed. I also hadn't noticed that. World Arena, an issue where when entering the battle report would show an image of the 5-star hero, Vildred. After both participants selected the same hero for pre-ban in Challenger and lower will be fixed. Okay, MolaGora seed reward change. Prior to the Sanctuary Force of Soul revamp on 4/28, all MolaGora seeds rewards will be changed to MolaGoras. So everywhere it will go, and if there's a seed, it's going to be completely changed over. So good, I'm happy with that. It's just an annoying step to no longer need. During the 4/28, the Awaken update, all MolaGora seeds will be changed to MolaGora. So basically, there's no point in you hoarding these things anymore. Just go ahead and spam them through, or wait for them to get converted for free. Basically is what they're saying. They're going to convert them on their own. Yay, there you go. Other, the typo description of option 3 of Watcher Shuri's exclusive equipment, the Watcher monocle, will be fixed. Changes the name and help to improve and make them more intuitive. Some, do y'all even care about any of this? Let's see here. When you press synthesize pet, it will be locked pop-up. Okay, nobody cares, nobody cares. After making Hero Triple S, it will go back to the hero screen, the buttons. Okay, I mean, that's not horrible. On iOS, chat pop-up, pressing enter key on Bluetooth keyboards. Nobody cares. All right, but something we actually want to talk about, which is Advent side story preview. Nature's Decline and Decay is starting soon. So, yeah. Here we go. This is that kind of content that a lot of people look for, and it's challenging, not new player friendly, but slightly new player-ish friendly, depending on how new you are. It's a lot of materials, it's a lot of energy, so start getting ready. By the looks of this is gonna be is this gonna be grass? Because we had fire, we've had ice, we had fire, so yeah, this should be grass, so get your fire units ready. Get your fire units ready. This is gonna be a fun one. All right, so let's see here. Some stuff that we wanted to talk about that is also in the notice before we get to the questions. For those of you who are interested in the password for the box in your inbox, it's right there. It's Picnic You Fiend. It'll also be in the comments below and as a pinned message. Let's go ahead and reset this back to normal. Arena resolution season is closing, so let's see here, May 1st for us, the arena resolution season is closing. Thank gosh, now we can get on to seeing the next gear set and slate. And the preseason will begin, which basically lasts right around, I think, around a month-ish. A couple weeks to a month. Huche Scam Shop is here. Hooray! For new players, do not buy a single thing from this guy. I don't care what your excuse is, where your brain says, oh, but I want, do not buy a single thing from this. Huche Scam Shop is here from April 14th to the 21st. What is the 21st? And what is so important about that? The custom triple banner is coming. Save every Skystone you need, because when it comes to that banner, you guys should not be committing to pull on that thing unless you have 600 bookmarks to guarantee your way all the way down to 1 coin pity. You think of that banner from 1 coin pity to the next. So yes, here's a list of all of these scam items available in his shop. Please do not buy a single thing from this dude. I don't care where you're at. Don't. All right, adjustments to the Moonlight summon. This is also where they announced that they have changed the pity from 30 to 20, which is great. We definitely appreciate that. Here is the event for the 7-day check-in for the Moonlight summon revamp. Everybody is getting a free 4 5-star summon ticket. Not only that, we're getting 1,000,000 gold, 5 equipment charms, we're getting 5 leaves, we're getting a 4-star phantasma, hooray, 2 artifact charms, 2 MolaGoras, always hype, and then on the 7th day, 6th day if you know how to do it, you're gonna get the 4 5-star Moonlight ticket. So check in before reset, so that you can get that ticket a day early with all your friends. Cause yeah, you want to be like, hey, look, I got another ticket, cause you can. So hype for everybody who's getting a free 4 5-star Moonlight. For those of you who are absolutely degenerate and re-roll accounts because you are degenerate, this is a pain in the butt because you got to do it basically for 7 days, and then you get to see if you get it or not. Sure, you could sit on the accounts, but remember, it's an 85% chance for a 4-star. And that means every ML5 is in that 15% chance. So, what was it? Quickly here. That means it is, what was the rate of it? 0.45% chance of getting the ML5 you want. All right, so what we're going to do is now turn it off of follower-only mode. Welcome back, chat. Everybody now has access. If you haven't hit the follow button, you should have anyway, because we like to talk informations, numbers, and break the game. All right, so again, the rules are here at my name, at Nightingale1176. Ask your questions. I'm going to set the timer first off for 10 minutes, and then we will increase it by 5 minutes as we see fit. So let's get going. Ask away. Let's see what your guys' thoughts are. What questions do you have that YouTube may also want asked? So a pretty long and lengthy video already, but again, like I say, use the timestamps, and we'll try to help you guys out. So again, at my name, and I'll be answering the questions in the order they are received. So, I think out of everything here for me, I think I'm the most excited to see. Obviously, everybody wants to see what MLs there are, but I think I'm excited to take a look at the dumpster fire of these balance notes. That's what I'm really excited to see. Is Dark Corvus going to be one of the things that you can pick from the free Moonlight at the start of the game? Yes, Dark Corvus has always been one of the Moonlight Blessing heroes. He was one of the original 6. But as far as it goes right now, I have not changed my thought on how he on who should be where. We will assess that after the Awaken update drops, and we have more information on it if he will move up or down. But yes, he is technically one of the 6 heroes that is available. It is Judge Kisei, it is Dark Corvus, Martial Artist Ken, Arbiter Vildred, Spectre Tenebria, and Ruel of Light. Nightingale, let's see here. Would Diene getting a full cleanse be too much? I'm glad they touched up on her without obviously over buffing, but I felt like she could deserve just a little bit more. With the skill cooldown on her S2, you gotta remember that this is, or no, it's still 3 turns on this. Nope. Hold on. 3-3. So, okay, with the the dispelling of 2 debuffs, a full cleanse might be too far for a ice limited unit. Here's the thing that you need to consider with Diene. Diene is a defensive support Soul Weaver. So a full cleanse on her, you don't need to bring anything else at that point. If she can full get rid of everything, you don't need any full cleanser. 2 debuffs, depending on what it is pretty up there. And I think with the added of shield, it will actually, you will probably see more play. Giving her anything, I think, much more than this now, without testing it, would potentially be over buffing. Yet to be seen. You also need to remember that you do have artifacts that can dispel, so Potion Vial and things like that do help her out. So, not that that's really what you want to use, but keep that in mind. So, yeah, Diene definitely is, I think this was a step in the right direction. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see her overbuffed, and I don't want to see her take the place of, Amelia, because that's really 2 totally different things. Again, guys, at Nightingale1176, I will answer your questions in the order they are received, and depending on where we're at when the timer goes off, we'll determine if we extend this by 5 minutes. Is there any new news about PC release of Epic 7? So, as far as the PC release, no, that is coming in Q3, according to the update notice. I would ask that you guys try to keep this somewhat patch related, but I'm okay with a few of those questions every now and then. It's not that bad because it's not that hard to get through that. Is there any list of the ML5s we can choose in the upcoming special banner? That will be announced on the 27th patch stream. So next time we have one of these videos, it will be there. Do you think Destina's skills are better with this adjustment than her previous skills set the other way around? So with Destina kind of needed a little bit of both. I'm okay with them giving her a revive. It now makes certain aspects, because Destina had a weird role, in my opinion, prior to this. Ruel was better by almost every standpoint, in my opinion, because the full heal and the full revive. But then Destina's S3 was also very, very powerful, because it grants all allies Spirit's Blessing and dispels all buffs before recovering the health, which that alone right there was great. But when an ally is debuffed, it would increase their combat readiness and all this stuff. So, I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff with her kit. But I think, honestly, this is a more modern version of her that I think makes sense. The big thing to note, I think, out of everything with Destina is now that it's related off her health, which means you're now going to be getting a... which now means you're going to be getting a bigger heal overall, because if you're only healing a 10,000 HP unit, which is the target at that point, their heal is significantly worse than if now coming off Destina being, let's say, 18 to 20,000 HP. So I think in the overall aspect, this is technically a better change for her. You can still get the 50% combat readiness boost here by the EE you take. I personally still like the Dispel one because if you build her on counter set, she's dispelling a debuff every time she counterattacks. And then if you pop her on Celestine, she's now healing even more off of Celestine when she counterattacks. So I think that there is a lot of room in this to still be very, very good. And now not only can that unit now revive allies, she's still quite nasty with not being able to get debuffed. So yeah, we got 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes left. So again, at Nightingale1176, answering questions in the order they are received. We will cover pretty much whatever you want about patch notes. I'm okay answering a few questions. I'd like to not keep it completely off topic, but we got some things that we're looking at, so it kind of makes sense with the Awaken update. We got some prep stuff we want. You know what? I'll answer this one just because it's right here while we're waiting. DMK Master, besides Tank God, who do you think are the real winner? I think the biggest glow up was probably Ludwig, but Ludwig's gonna suffer from that really horrible thought of unbuffable and red units that one shot. Destina's pretty cool. I'm nervous for the SBA and Fire Aramintha stuff. I wish they would have done these in 2 separate patches and not the same patch directly, because again, I see the 5-alarm fire here saying that these both indirectly buffed each other, and they did not need to be buffed at the same time. That's going to be an unpopular opinion, because I know people want both. But if you would have thought in a much broader spectrum, you'd have realized that they buffed both. Is Coli worth building with the new adjustments? Yes, but it depends on, do you have the gear to make it work? Because Coli's now going to have to be a fairly fast unit, because you got to think most high youngs are probably between the speeds of, let's say the average, the slow ones are probably like 210 to up there to the 250 range. So you're gonna have to at least be 260 or faster on a Coli. Is it possible? Yes, but it's gonna come down to, it's gonna be slightly gear carried to be able to do this. I'm curious to see how it works. I know that I have a few friends that are very excited to mess around with Coli and her kit. But then again, you also got to think about, I believe, does not Rimuru activate off of Baptism of Fire, which then would immediately have Rimuru come hit her, which will then 10k fixed damage, which should kill her. So it's almost like if you want to use her, you got to ban Rimuru, or else Rimuru should be able to cut this if he's built right. And then the 10k fixed on her should blow her up. But then again, she will have stealth. But then well, no, because Rimuru would probably... Hold on. How is this going to work? I'm going to go ahead and extend this for 5 minutes. So you guys get 5 more minutes to ask questions, and we'll see where we're going. Attack, so it's going to be S3, so it attacks the enemy with a dagger and a bomb. Decreasing buff durations by 1 turn, inflicts bleeding and planting a bomb for 2 turns before increasing the combat readiness by 50%. When the target is fire, it ignores effect resistance and an additional 50% combat readiness. So I'm not sure if Rimuru's going to trick off of this. I'd have to see it to actually know, but if Rimuru can get in front of this for whatever reason, because if you Politis and Rimuru, you can get in front of this, I'm pretty sure, and you can blow Coli up with Rimuru's 10k fixed damage. Yeah, you might be able to do that. Oh no, he completely, Rimuru is one of the 4 major issues of the game. All right. So last call on questions. And then once we're done with video, you guys can feel free to ask literally about whatever at that point. I just would like to keep it somewhat on topic so that YouTube is informed. And if not, we will wrap up here at the end. The only things, like I said, the hero, this is probably the biggest part of this patch. 9 heroes is absurdly a lot to balance at one time without checking the consequences of what these balances do to things. I wish they wouldn't balance so many heroes at once. Yes, we have a lot of heroes that need it, but in the case of like Fire Aramintha and SBA, that should never be done at the same time because they both directly and indirectly buff each other, so... is the triple banner information coming today or sometime later? I think that will be, since it is the 21st, which is next Wednesday, for people who are watching this, I have a feeling the information will be either later this week or it'll be next Wednesday. So I do have a video covering that as well, on kind of how and what you guys need to be looking for, so do keep that in mind. Trying to think, is there anything else that we need to talk about briefly in this that I've skimmed over that may need to be talked about more? We've got the Moonlight summon thing. We got the heroes we've done the math on that. No, I think we're good. The story, yay, free resources. That stupid recall. Yeah, no, I think we're good. So, any last questions? Last call is here. And we're going to wrap this up in 2 minutes. I think one thing that is actually kind of cool, and I'm not gonna BS about this, is the fact that you've basically got Bellion 1.5 right here. For those of you who haven't thought about it, this is basically Bellion 1.5 but grass. So you guys pop your injury sets here and you know, enjoy the injury Carmen, or Armin, I should say. So just going ahead feeding you guys a little bit of information there. You know, not saying it's the best idea, I'm not saying it's the worst idea, but that's kind of cool. I'm actually curious how people are going to pull this off. But again, we do have the issue of everything penetrates defense, so a high defense Armin means low HP overall, which means Ha Young can easily come in here and one-shot that unit. Even with that 20% decrease, this thing's dead to Ha Young. This thing's dead to a lot of units that pen defense, honestly. So. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to say, let's just end the timer here and let's wrap the video. Here you guys go. Here are the patch notes. This will be also for you guys watching the video. This link will be in the description below. Probably it's above for you guys. It should be above the timestamp so that you can kind of look along with me along the way. Oh, I didn't even see you ask that. Cool. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I know this is a extremely long video, but when you cover 9 units and skill changes and everything else, this is kind of a longer patch. So I really do appreciate those of you who sat and watched through the whole video. Chat, go ahead and start saying goodbye to YouTube. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to get balance update. We're getting our ML pulls. So good luck to every single one of you. May the 15% be in your favor and you get the ML5 that you want. Just gonna say this, go with your expectations low so you can't be disappointed. But seriously, I do hope for the best of luck for every single one of y'all pulling on these tickets. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up here soon for Epic 7. This is only the beginning. Honestly, this is a great prelude to what we're about to have over the next 2 weeks incoming. So keep in mind, you've got the triple custom banner coming for your Covenant summons. That's huge. You've got the custom Mystic banner. If you haven't got a pity fully saved up yet, keep working on it. It's coming soon. You've got the Awaken update. So much is changing. We've got a lot coming soon. I'm really, really excited. A lot of new videos to be had, and we're gonna look and see what needs to be updated and get going on that. So you guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one.